Okay, it's been a while since I've done one of these, a week I think. But I was reading yesterday that the U.S. Marine Corps uh, was doing war games with the Royal Marines and the Canadians, and I think some European Union troops in the desert. And they only got halfway through. I think they were supposed to last a week. Excuse me. But the U.S. Marine Corps surrendered halfway through, and they had to do a reset. They lost all their territory, or most of their territory, and so forth. Um, and the reason I bring this up is, and I've blogged about this before, is that it has appeared to me that we have consciously, for quite some time now, been softening our military units. I remember when they started lowering the physical standards for the military academies, and then they lowered standards for airborne paratrooper training. And then they walked some people through Ranger School, and I think they've been working on trying to get standards lowered for the Special Forces, Green Berets, and whatnot. I know the Navy SEALs have been under some pressure too, but you see it, and again I've written about this in the upper brass, which I've never been fond of generals anyway. A lot of generals that get there are suck ups. And then when you get into a real war, or it used to be this way, you had to get rid of those guys to get to the ones that could actually fight and win. But what we've been doing for several decades is we've been rewarding generals who lose. And the politicians have been part and parcel of that. I mean, we've been managing even platoon level combat from Washington, D.C., and it's been managed by people who have no idea of what it takes to be in combat. And they've changed things, and they're doing it right now. They're changing the military. I understand they've got this vaccine mandate, and I don't know, but several thousand Air Force, that's what I read, may be discharged because of that. And I just, it's we've been softening our entire culture for a long time. And I remember reading a historian one time, and he said, an empire only exists so long as it retains its superior capacity to kill. Now, that's jarring and all, but it's also true. And we're a republic that is an empire. I mean, we in a very short period of time, we went from the Atlantic to the Pacific, and then we have sway all over the world. And we've done that through a massive economy that was second to none, and a military that retained an ability to overcome others. Now we've given up on that. I remember reminiscing time. I remember when I went through basic training almost 60 years ago. But in our unit, the basic training company, not just the platoon, but I think when we went through rifle training, there were only two guys that actually had to be taught how to fire a weapon. And I remember one of the drill sergeants talking, I was in earshot, to the deputy base commander, who was a brigadier general, I believe, and explaining to him, we were in Fort Polk, Louisiana, that all of the people that went through this were from like Texas and Louisiana and Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee. They had no problem with teaching them how to shoot. And I remember a large number of us, myself included, fired expert, which was the top of the shooting game at that time. So, I mean, bullseye, bullseye, bullseye. And then we went through another exercise called train fire, and I won't get into all that. But the thing is people were used to, before they went into the military, were used to walking the fields, hunting, fishing, camping, doing all the things that you have to do uh, to survive. And I've never been in combat, but I've known and trained with large numbers of people that have. I remember the first time we did a 20 mile forced march under full pack. And then when we got there, we had to do an attack problem because that might happen in real life. And I understand that type of training doesn't necessarily take place now. I live in a college town, and I look at male college students that I know wouldn't survive basic training as I knew it. Now, that's an old guy who's talking about the past, I know. But they have softened things up, and they continue to do so. And now, evidently, they're trying to keep people out who are would be their best combat type people. And they've been doing this for some time. So going back to the Marine Corps thing, being an ex-Army guy, we always joked about, never keep the Marines away from, I mean, you can't keep the Marines away from cameras, but we never disputed their ability to fight. And the thing is, for a long time, we were the superior people. And I'm not disputing. I've always respected the British and their ability to fight. And I can't, and the Canadians too. Even though we've kind of joked about that and so forth and so on. But the thing is other people want what you have. And you have people within this country who don't like the military as it should be, or the people who should be populating it. Now, again, you have to have people who are prepared and can fight. Prepared to and can fight. It just has to be. And if you disregard that and you train and yes, it's males. If you train your males not to fight, then bad things are going to happen and follow on that. Now, and those are the people that got us to where we are right now. And we live still, at this point in time, in a relatively safe civilization, but we're rapidly destroying the ability to maintain that civilization. So people, you need to think about that, because everything's great until it's not. And the until it's not part can come really quick. So you all have a good day.